Where did Taran James start his life?
So, born on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, moved down here. I would have been early 20s, maybe 23, 23, 24. Came down for a 3-day holiday, never went home. Had to call my family, call my work and be like, hey, I'm not coming back. And then that was it. And I've been down ever since. So lived all over Sydney as well. So it's been good. And then landed here in the inner west about 8 years ago now. So
yeah, nice. Yeah. You called Newtown home ever since.
Yeah. Well, it's moving around the area. It's the only, like in Sydney, it's the only place that's felt like it's had that community vibe, you know, where everyone, it's like a tight community where everyone kind of knows each other, but everyone's also accepting of everyone as well.
Yeah.
So it was good moving in because I didn't know how it was going to go with, if it was going to be cliquey or not in one of those kind of situations. But no, it's been really fun. I love it here. Yeah.
And you had so your first job was an electrician?
No, so I've had many, many jobs throughout like life, but I guess the second most recent was an electrician. So before this, I owned another shop further up on King Street in Newtown that was like a crystal and tarot and oracle shop that I built during COVID between the lockdowns, and then ran that for quite a few years and then sold that. And then I've always wanted to do a bar. And then it just came about that, you know, I had the coin to do it from the sale of the last business. So I sunk everything into this and then built it. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
never been done before. Sold a crystal shop to open up a bar.
Yeah.
It's such a good story. You need to tell everybody that.
Yeah. I know. I think people think I'm a bit insane for doing it. It's all, you know, and having zero hospo experience is the thing where people are like, what is wrong with you? Why would you want to get into it? So, but it's been a wild ride so far, but I've loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like you've got a little bit of like an entrepreneurial mind state as well behind you. Like after the crystal shop and this, like it's
yeah, definitely. I love people, but I love business.
Yeah,
and you know anything. And this is such a creative environment, you know, in terms of drinks, and it's that good mix of creativity and you know guest experience and being able to just essentially just talk rubbish with people and make drinks. So it's good fun.
Have you got any stories to tell that kind of stick out where you're like, I'm in deep waters that are, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say generally realizing, and again, not coming from it, and now realizing that with all hospo, specifically though, like bars, is that you're just running an adult daycare. So that's what it was like.
Sure.
It's been the biggest like realization. But I think it was like the first week, and in the bathrooms I've got barn doors, sliding barn doors, and someone was in there clearly pissed, and instead of sliding the door, forced the whole thing off the rail and then like tore out the whole track that like at the base. And I think that was week one or week two, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what I'm in for now. So that happened. And then it's just been those kind of other things that I've realized, and just having to manage people drinking, you know, like instead of being on the other side of the bar all the time, now being in there and having to actually monitor and look after people, right? And then
absolutely,
and the venue and the team as well, and make sure everything's running well. Yeah.
Did you have any? You would have had some hospitality connections coming into it, or you had no hospitality connections at all?
No, so my only real hospitality connections were my friends that owned venues or worked in venues. So it was bartender friends and then a few friends that owned a few places. Beyond that, I didn't really have anyone else, which proved to be quite a struggle. And there's that thing of like I always say like not having any clout in the industry and being green was a real hard slog setting up the whole place because I couldn't get meetings with reps. Like, you know, I was no one to them, which is fair, but also now we're, you know, getting momentum and now everyone's coming out of the woodwork kind of thing and sniffing around. So it's just interesting. But yeah, it was definitely a tough go without any hospo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For anybody watching wants to open up their own bar, maybe some overrated and underrated purchases. I know off camera we were talking about the fridges, ice machine, and stuff were actually all like a rental agreement.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Is there any other purchases that you were like overrated or underrated, that like advice that you'd give out?
Well, I think if you have the money to do everything, I mean, I want to say do it, but also like I built this place on a shoestring budget. Again, yeah, the fridges and freezers, like that kind of stuff, I was like new, and if that breaks down, you're in a bit of strife, because that's the thing that kind of keeps you going. Beyond that, the back bar in terms of booze, and again, you've got to, like, I had to pay for that outright, so that was probably beyond building my biggest expense, having to line an entire bar of full juice. And it was that thing where people were like, oh, you could just put a few on the back bar. And I was like, no, you can't. You open it, you open a new venue and you've got a few bottles sitting there. It just didn't look good. So that's definitely like I think that's a must, is with a new venue, is having a full stocked back bar. I'm trying to think what I wouldn't kind of spend on again. I don't know. I've kept it pretty, I've probably kept it pretty minimal. I think chairs are another thing to spend a bit of coin on. You don't have to go crazy. These are actually from Bunnings Marketplace. But in saying that, I think if I spend a bit more coin, I feel like already seeing them over for the couple of months, the longevity of the chairs would definitely be a different purchase. I probably would have put more money into the chairs.
It makes sense, right? I mean, the more comfy the chair is, the longer you're going to have people sitting in it for.
Well, that's it, right? If you're comfy, you are gonna sit there longer, and that's why I wanted backrests and comfy padded cushions on there as well. So, and everyone seems happy with them.
Yeah. Like, what's the identity of Ravenspur to you?
It's funny because when I first set out to do it, I love bourbon, I love rye, I love drinking old fashions, and I was like, I'm going to be this old fashioned bar, and I'm going to just be slinging bourbon and rye and nothing else. And then very quickly realized that's just not a reality, because not a lot of people, people do like it, but not everyone wants to drink that. And I had one rep who's become quite a good friend, and he said the most you'll do is vodka and tequila. And sure enough, when I looked at the numbers, that's what it was. It was vodka and tequila. So I tell people that we're like a whiskey bar, but we don't market it like that.
Yeah.
We're just a classic cocktail bar. So, and I like focusing on the classics as well. So I feel like in the industry, and from drinking so much and going to all these bars, I feel like we've gotten away from the classics. It's all these overproduced cocktails where I wanted to kind of dial it back and just do really good, solid classics. So we're kind of, I guess, more now known for just being a classic cocktail bar with my aesthetic, which is what I wanted, which was a Southern Gothic, kind of brooding country venue like this, but we just, but still felt warm.
Yeah.
Where anyone's welcome as well, and you can kind of get any drink you want, which was my other thing. I didn't want to be pigeonholed into just one specific spirit or type of cocktail.
Yeah.
And it's working. We're now known. So again, that's why I don't try to push it as much. I'll tell people, we have a great selection of bourbon and rye.
That's where your passion is, really.
Yeah. But my passion is bourbon and rye and people and guest experience as well. So that's probably more at the forefront. I love dealing with people. So I'll make you any drink you want, or I'll try and get as close as I can to it. If we don't have what it is, I'll try and get as close as I can to making that drink for you. So, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about running a crystal shop? I know absolutely nothing about it. I know nothing about crystal. I've never walked into a crystal shop in my life, but I'd love to hear what it's like from someone who's done it before.
Yeah, so it was a wild time, obviously with COVID. My then partner was into it, so we started an online business. I was made redundant as an electrician. That grew and grew and grew online quite quite largely. And then, we opened the shop between the 2 lockdowns in Sydney, and it was nuts. And that was a wild ride as well, because I didn't really know anything about crystals and tarot and all that kind. I knew kind of little bits and pieces. I feel like that everyone knows, here and there. And it was this wild thing of like, I was a therapist, which probably wears on you a lot. You're like a free therapist every single day, and you're trapped because people are coming to you. And I loved it. Not to say I didn't love everyone that came in, but it becomes a lot. People are coming in with quite serious problems and issues, and then you're having to try and fix it with a stone that's, not to take anything away from it. Of course, I did it for years, but it was hard. Like it was pretty rough sometimes, you're taking on a lot of what people are going through as well.
Yeah.
Whereas this I feel like that's the whole thing of being a bartender.
I was just about to say, there's a few parallels in that.
Definitely. You're still a therapist, but everyone's a lot more lubricated on the other side. So it's a bit of a smoother kind of,
slightly less intense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool. How do you go about recommending a crystal to someone? Is there certain crystals that are known for, I don't know, to fix certain things?
Yeah, like different attributes and things like that. Yeah, so I came from a scientific background as well, so it was quite a hard pill to swallow in the beginning, like with crystals and astrology and all of that kind of stuff. And then I would look into the science of it, where the whole thing of everything's got, I guess like physical energy and vibrations and things like that, like frequencies, I should say. Everything's got it and it's all measurable and like a tangible thing. So it would be someone would come in for a specific issue or something like that, and then it's almost like prescribing what stone you think would be good for them. Did it always work? I mean, it's like I think it's like anything. You have to believe it's going to work, and the big, I guess, takeaway is if you believe that something's going to be good for you, generally, I say that it is, and I would kind of say it in the sense of like, if I got a river stone. Went to the river, picked a stone out, and then you came in and said, I want to be happier in my life. And I just had this river stone and gave it to you and said, well, take this. This is going to make you happier. And you trust in what I'm saying, and then you believe it. Generally, you're going to be happier, right? Because your brain chemicals are going to rewire and adjust, and then you're going to actually start feeling it. So there's that kind of level as well, the psychosomatic kind of thing, and I hate to use the word placebo, but
I didn't want to say it,
but it's a real thing, right? If you believe it to be true, then who's to say it's not? Like in that kind of sense, for how you're feeling and your emotions and things like that. So
I mean, I'm a huge advocate for like anything that'll change your perspective on the way you see the world for the better.
Yeah.
So if that means a crystal or a stone, then why the fuck not?
Yeah, exactly. Not hurting anyone, so that's what I'm all about. Is it's like, go for it then. Yeah,
right, that's super interesting.
Definitely. Oh yeah, it's quite a rabbit hole when you start getting into it. So yeah, there's a lot in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you got any advice for yourself if you were to go back in time and redo the opening of this place? What would you tell past Taran?
Probably don't do it. No, I would probably. What would I tell myself? Probably to be like more easy on myself, because I was actually quite brutal, like mentally in here with myself and the whole build, and I did 98% of it myself on my own. Plastic covering the windows, dark in here, and just grinding. I'd probably take more, honestly, probably more self-care. I'd be like, you need to take more time out, because I was go, I've got to get it done. And then even after the build, I went straight into service. there was no break. It was the day we opened and did the launch. I was still doing finishes in here, you know, finishing bits and pieces, putting hooks on walls, painting the barrels for the front and things like that. So it'd probably be take more time and just, or maybe enjoy it more as well. Because I just was build. Oh, you know, I wasn't even thinking about, oh, this is fun. I was like, I've got to get this place open. So it would have been taking more time. And probably asking for help more, which I'm notoriously, which anyone who knows me knows I won't do. Yeah. I will just suffer, not in silence. I will suffer out loud, but I will still suffer, but I won't ask for help. So there's definitely asking for more help at the beginning, especially. Yeah.
And then from first day of build to your open day, what time period was it?
About 5.5 months. So yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So 5.5 months, anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week, every single week. Like I pretty much didn't take time off in the build. It was like big hours every day to just get it done. This was a massive job. This place was.
What was it before?
It was an old laundromat, and it was a nightmare. The roof, I had to rip the ceiling out, I had to rip the floor up. Like it was in a bad state.
What about the guitar? So a little guitar behind you?
Yeah, this is my personal Ibanez that I just wasn't playing enough either. So I was like, and it was like the perfect like piece to put on the wall. So I brought that in. I now wish I actually still had it at home. So, so I was like, now that I've like, it's settled a little bit in here and I'm not go every day, I'm like, I could actually get back to playing a little bit. So that'd be nice. And then in terms of everything else on the wall, there's like a lot of artwork that's either friends or I've got a lot of, I guess like musical, like inspiration and things like that. The bathrooms have the most. There's a lot of, that's pretty predominantly just all music that I listen to in terms of the artists in frames in there. This piece was actually my schoolmate who is a tattoo artist. He actually tattooed my neck and hands quite a few years ago now. And he that's like one of his original prints. And then there's just, bits and pieces, taxidermy on the walls, cowboy hats, again, just things I wanted to put in here that represented me and like my aesthetic as well. And that was like my biggest thing. And even starting out the whole like inception of the venue before I had any real idea, the only thing I knew was that I wanted a cathedral looking back bar. And then the only other thing I saw was taxidermy and vintage frames and cowboy hats on the walls. That's the only thing I had to go off when I started building. And then it evolved as I was building. I had no clear plan. It was like week by week, day by day, week by week. It just evolved into like what it is now.
And how does one get their hands on a taxidermy?
So there's the antique shops. There's all, you know, that kind of vintage shops and things like that. One of them, I went down with my fiance to Melbourne, and we had a few drinks at a bar, and there was a massive antique shop across the road. Cruised in there, found the ram that's on the wall at the front, and carried it back. Like put it in the Uber, took it back, and then brought it back on the flight. Otherwise it's just those kind of places. Yeah. And then the Texas Longhorns, I had brought down from the Sunshine Coast. There's actually a place up there that I know, and they happen to have the Texas Longhorns, what's one of my favorite things in the bar.
Definitely catches your eye.
But yeah, it's good fun.
A general idea that you've always wanted to open a bar, but but apart from that, is there any underlying, any underlying reason?
I mean, I love drinking, and which is funny because I feel like I drink, which is a good thing, but I drink less now that I've got the bar. But I wanted, and I had always said I wanted a place where I would want to drink. That was kind of, I guess, why I wanted to open a venue. I was like, why doesn't a place like this exist? This kind of dark country. I mean, because it's interesting because I've loved this, you know, style and music for so many years, and it's quite trendy now. So it's just interesting that it's it hadn't been done. So I was like, well, I'll just build it.
Yeah.
Why don't I build what doesn't exist, and build for myself as opposed to build for what I feel everyone wants was the other thing. I'll build it, and if people like it, then awesome. Welcome. Come and enjoy and drink whiskey.
Right.
Or whatever else you want.
What have you got? Have you got any long-term plans for Ravenspur, say like 2-3 years down the line?
Yeah, so kicking off next year, music would be like live music is the plan moving forward. And then we're working on a tattoo flash day as well. So opening up earlier and having a couple of tattoo artists in here, maybe less drinking on that day. But yeah, just doing more fun bits and pieces in here, kind of community-based stuff, and just ramping up the fun, really. So, I mean, it's kind of, I feel like it's what we're known for. One of our like number one drinks is a pickleback. So,
unreal.
I
love a pickleback.
Yeah, me too. So, we've got that, for being a table service, heavy guest experience venue. I feel like we're still known for being quite a fun venue as well. Like we kind of I don't think anyone in here takes themselves too seriously. So we're just here to have a good time and serve good drinks and have a good laugh.
A tattoo flash day is such a crazy idea. Has that been done before?
Yeah, I think there's a few places that have done it. I don't know about in such a tight, like, cocktail bar. But it's people have done bits and pieces. I actually just went to a wedding and they had a tattoo artist. We was at a brewery and they had a tattoo artist there, which was really fun. I don't think it's like I think people are concerned or think that they can't do it because of the licensing and things like that. So I was talking to the tattoo artist on the weekend, and he had said it's actually cost-wise and in terms of the difficulty of getting the licenses for an event, he says it's actually not that hard, not that expensive and not that hard to do. So let's do it. And then if that becomes maybe a semi-regular thing, because for the first one, we're going to do like Ravenspur flash. Yes. So it'll be all that kind of, Southern Gothic flash sheets that each artist can kind of do their own sheets.
Unreal.
So, yeah. So that'll be in the new year. And then again, live music is another big thing that we want in here. So yeah.
Man, I can't wait for that. I'm definitely coming down for the tattoo flash day.
So I think there's a big disconnect with within the industry, that the kind of owner operator has been on the back burner, and these like larger groups have been all consuming, and there seems to be the teams are great, but there feels like there's a lot of like soulless movement going on, and it's just like venue after venue after venue is opening, and it just doesn't feel as authentic. It's what can we open and churn the most coin. And I totally get, like, I'm here to run a business. Like, at the end of the day, this is my business, and I've invested a lot of coin into this myself, and this has to do well for me. But I'm here all the time, running everything. I'm hands-on, I'm in here, and I feel like we need more of that as well. So there's that, and another reason I wanted a bar specifically like this in terms of service was one of my favorite bars, which I'll give a shout out to, is Fortunate Son. So Dylan with Fortunate Son and the Palomino, but specifically Fortunate Son. I remember going in and just being like, this is what I want. This service, you feel welcome no matter who you are at any time. You're just always welcome in there, and I just love that. So I wanted to kind of replicate his what he does in there here, and I feel like I've done that. It's like I feel like I harp on about it heaps as well, even to the team. It's guest experience. That person sitting across from you, they're coming in, and again, being an owner operator, it feels like I'm like, come into my house, let me make you a drink. So when that disconnect's there across the bar, and you're kind of getting nothing from the person who's like serving you. Like at the end of the day, we're there to serve the guest. You know, what can I do for you? It's not this other way around where you should feel, which again, and I use the word because I can't stand it, but mixologists, where I feel like they're like, you should feel privileged that I'm making you a drink. No.
It's not going to get you very far.
But it seems to. But I don't like it. I'm like, I don't want to. I have this thing where I've always said, if you go somewhere with great service and an okay drink, not the best drink you've ever had, but an okay drink, you'll always go back because of the service. You can have the best drink you've ever had in your life and have terrible service. You'll never go. I'll never go back.
Yeah, I don't think
because of that service, right? I don't care how good that drink is. Why would I come back? There's no connection with the person on the other side of the bar. You want to feel like you're friends in a way, or you know, there's the tiniest of like connection there, and it's gone.
Yeah, I forgot where I heard it, but you're the best bartender if you know this properly.
So coming from having no experience, it's behind the bar. People I know making cocktails, I don't know. I didn't know. What I learnt really quickly was that it's recipes, you know.
Oh yeah.
And the menu that has been built, that I created 98% of the drinks on the menu. That wasn't the hard thing. I mean, for me, the people was it, but I was like, and people would come in. I had people that had no experience as well, and they were stressed out about it. And I was like, but here's a recipe card. All you have to do is follow that recipe. But if you smile at the person across from the bar while you're doing it, then your job's done. Because the cocktails aren't hard. The human interaction is the hard thing. And like I was saying earlier, like off camera, you can't teach that.
Nah.
You've either got it or you don't have it. So that's been a huge thing in here. Yeah.
So
here we go.
So you can only drink one type of whiskey for the rest of your life.
Yep.
You've got Canadian or Japanese.
Canadian.
All right. Canadian or Irish.
Canadian.
Canadian or bourbon.
Bourbon.
Bourbon or Scotch.
Bourbon.
Bourbon or rye.
Rye.
Rye?
Yeah.
And rye or Australian?
Rye.
Rye. Rye's your favourite.
Well,
you can't have Australian rye.
There's a very good Australian rye that I actually love drinking.
Gospel?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tasty stuff.
It's great. The whole range. I've actually got some really nice stuff on the back bar from the guys at Gospel.
You can get Gospel.
Well, and then 36 South is in there as well. So again, great drop. But yeah, there's a lot of great Aussie stuff coming out. I'm always a bourbon drinker. I've always been bourbon and rum as a Queenslander, of course.
Yeah.
But the ryes, again, now that I'm expanding my palate more and more and being here, I'm like, the rye there's something about rye that just does it for me. So, and Australian rye is great. Australian whiskey. Australian
everything.
Australian everything.
Australian foamer.
There you go, right? An all Australian whiskey sour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Aussie the fucking Aussie lemons. Made by Queenslander. There you go.
Have you ever thought about doing like hospo training, similar to what Dylan does down the road? Hospo trainings in here. Not hospo trainings, but like, I don't know, hosting trainings.
Like me doing it?
Well, having guests in here.
Yeah. I'm totally open to anything in here as well, like that kind of workshops and things like that. We did have, for the team, just before we opened, we actually had Jason Crawley come in and do a training, and I thought it was going to be more about the drinks, but it actually was a lot about service, which was great. He's like Dylan. I mean, it was those two that did Fortunate at the beginning. just a wealth of knowledge. So definitely, I would definitely do trainings and things like that in here for sure. Yeah. That's why Jordan and I work. I fucking love this guy. That's why I like working with him though. And we're like real with each other. And I only have very, very few. This is going to be horribly edited because it's just going to be me just ranting.
No.
But honestly, and this like to you, just to let you know, there's only very few people that I actually have time for, rep wise and stuff in this industry. He's one of them. One of the only others is Jeremy. I don't know if you know Vanguard luxury brands, like they Gospel and fucking Four Row. Most of my rails at not the tequila now though. I've got fucking Cascabel tequila now. There's only very few people that I will deal with because people wouldn't come to the table, like as in they wouldn't even like. I couldn't even get meetings with them, and I was just trying to set up a venue. They could have been in the rail, right? Like this was the thing. They had the opportunity to fucking fill the rail, but they weren't there. Whereas it was a lot of other people were like, I just like no replies to fucking emails.
You don't have the credentials for me to
even
have a second for you.
Now they're coming out, and I'm like, you can get on the back bar, but that's it. Well, what where were you in the inception when I was trying to set this venue up, and I was reaching out and got given all these contacts, and then no one was getting back to me, and then they're the ones that are like weird about it now, and it's like, well, this is what you get. Yeah. I can't wait for the bar awards. You fucking wait. You wait. Oh, I want to win one. All I want to do is win one. I want to lead it and be like best fit out that he did himself. And then I want to rinse the industry. Most work put into a venue personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. The saddle, that is off Facebook Marketplace. I reached out, right? This woman, I only paid $200 for it, which it's if you actually look at the leather work, it's incredibly detailed. Off Facebook Marketplace, this woman, lovely, was moving back to. She was a American Greek American. Like she was American but lived in Greece. Like she's from Greece.
Right.
Was moving back to a ranch in Greece. Was selling all of her stuff. I hit her up because I saw this saddle, $200 on Marketplace. Went and met her in North Sydney. And I told her what I was doing, and she was like, "I wish you'd contacted me like 2 months ago." I gave away so much stuff, like all of her hats, so much stuff she just gave away. She goes, "I've actually got a set of," which is now in the bathroom, the books. She goes, "I have a set of leather-bound, it's American history, like Wild West history books." She's like, "Come and collect them. You can have them for the venue." She was like stoked on it. So I got that off her, and then she gave me the books. I fucking love that thing. I'm like obsessed with it. It's such a beautiful piece. I was going to say the number one artwork in here though is in the bathroom, which you probably haven't seen. In the far bathroom is a framed hole punched in the wall that's fragile masculinity. Everyone fucking, you've been in that one, eh? Everyone talks about that. They love it. It's like the number one thing in here. They're like, "That's so good, that fucking hole in the wall."
Fragile masculinity, hole punched in the wall. Where'd you get that one from?
So there's a venue, I'm pretty sure in Melbourne. If I had the source, I'd love to, reference the source, but I don't. But from memory, it was Melbourne. Someone had actually punched a hole in a wall in a venue, and they had framed it and written "Fragile Masculinity, Artist Unknown." I did the same thing in the bathroom, and the reason I did it was for my hope that someone would see it and maybe question something in their life a little, like have a little bit of maybe I should be less of a idiot less of a hothead. Then maybe they'll actually question something in their life. That's why I actually put it in there for people to see and just have a little think about their kind of how they are in the world and things like that.
What's it like working with your partner?
Working with your fiance? Well, she comes in once a week on Saturdays. So she's a design director, which was really good. So she did the I guess all the print design, so the menus, the actual branding was all her, which was great to have her because we are very similar in a lot of ways and we could bounce off each other in terms of designing it. Working with her on once a week, I mean, the whole concept of her working on the Saturday was literally so we could be together, as we spoke about earlier, like off camera, was our whole schedules changed. She's a design director, so she works during the day. I all of a sudden started working nights every single night. So she comes in Saturdays and works. She's a great worker. So, which I actually love. I love that she's on the floor and she's great on the floor, which is like super handy for me. But we work really well together as well. It's nice. It's nice to have that that dynamic where I'm not stressed working with her either. Like I'm not like, oh, I've got to tell her, you know, I still treat her like she's one of the team members in that way. Like there's no like special privileges or things like that. I still talk to her how I would talk to everyone else. If something needs to get done, hey, can you do this? There's no like, do you think you could do it? It's like, hey, I need this done, which is nice. And she respects that as well. So it's good. So yeah, it's definitely, and it's also nice to have someone in your corner that's as invested as you. So she just wants the best for the venue as well, because she wants the best for me. So it works really well like that, yeah.
And how did you guys meet each other?
It's funny because we're getting married in March and I had to fill out a form and it said, how did you meet each other? And I wrote like all true modern day love stories on an app. So we met on an app, had a date at Fortunate Son. It was our first date. And it was like from the get-go, it was like, this is it. So that was it. And then it was just game on from there.
This will be interesting. This is one of my most viewed shorts from Steve's podcast, and it was choosing between bar luxuries. Now it's going to be super fun because Steve's someone who has spent like probably 30 something years in the industry, and you spent like
2.5 months,
2.5
3 months. Yeah.
So both of your bar luxuries are probably, I feel like they're going to be different. You're going to choose between a vertical rinser or a crushed ice machine.
Vertical rinser.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. Anyway, vertical rinser or clear ice.
Like a...
So I don't know if you've seen like Bare Bones is the biggest.
That's what we carry. So we carry Bare Bones, clear ice.
So clear ice over a vertical rinser.
Yeah.
You've got clear ice or chilled glassware. So glassware in the fridge.
That's a brutal one. Because I harp on so much about clear ice.
You've got clear ice or a prep shift.
Fuck. Clear ice.
Clear ice. Clear ice or a bar back.
Clear ice.
And then clear ice or a non-polish glass washer. So it's got like a reverse osmosis setting.
Clear ice.
Clear ice. Clear ice is a winner.
I'm a bit of a savage on clear ice. I have this thing where if I go to a venue, and I get it, not everyone does it, and I'm of an old-fashioned venue. But when I go to a venue and I get an old-fashioned and it's got well ice in it, I'm a little upset. I'm a fucking little upset.
I'm in the same boat.
Don't give me that. Why are you giving me this? I don't want it. I would rather an old-fashioned neat, stirred down, just straight into the glass, than giving me fucking well ice. Do not give me well ice. And I get it. It's a cost. Like it's an extra cost. Also, if you're not known for doing old fashions or Negronis or Boulevardiers or Sazerac, generally anything that's stirred down and is a great drink, why would you carry it? I get that, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm also in the thought process that like if you're ordering a old fashioned or a Negroni from like a venue that clearly that's not their expertise, and you get served something with well ice, you're like, I probably should have anticipated this before I ordered it.
Yeah. So there's that. There's that like adjusting, and you, like you said, yeah, you're kind of like, all right. But if I go to a nice cocktail bar and I order a Negroni and it comes out like that, I'm kind of like,
Oh, disappointed.
I am disappointed.
It did ruin my night.
Yeah. And then I'll go home, Nicker and I'll go home and I'll be like, can you believe that? So, and she'll let it go, but I fucking won't. I will never let it go. I won't let it go. I struggle to let that go. Don't do it.
Yeah, I love my clear ice. Started making it at home. Do you make clear ice at home?
How to make molds, or you mean like just to get clear ice?
To get clear ice, like in a home setting, you've got to. So if you do it, like if you think about the way ice freezes, it freezes from outside inwards.
Yeah.
So the inside is always going to be your cloudiness, your bubbles, your all imperfections. So the trick is to get your ice to freeze from top to bottom as opposed to outside to in.
Right.
So the way you do that is by using any sort of anything that's insulated. So like if an esky can fit in your freezer, take the top off, chuck it in your freezer. If you use the takeaway coffee cups, like the reusable ones, they're insulated. So if you put that in your freezer, it's going to freeze from top to bottom. So the top half is going to be crystal clear and your bottom half is going to be cloudy. So you just chop off the bottom half and you've got crystal clear ice at home.
There we go. Yeah. That's good. I like that.
But you should definitely also buy Bare Bones.
I'm always spruiking Bare Bones because it's shout out to Bare Bones. The amount of comments over the bar when people see when you put that drink down, in a frosted glass, but also with that just block sitting in it, nearly every time they're just like they're shocked. People are shocked about it. So there's something in that as well.
Yeah, it's definitely has its little wow moment.
Yeah,
for someone who hasn't seen it before. At least.
Well, that's the other thing. It looks great when you see, when you see it sitting there. It's like such a look.
I feel like Ravenspur has a Newtown soul to it, and it feels intentional on your end. Like obviously you knew the way you wanted the bar to look, but did you make any edits and changes in terms to it being in Newtown as a community?
Not really. I'm now from this community, so like I guess followed from being around the area as well and around the community, I just followed what I would want. I didn't really edit it though. It just became what it was, organically. So, and which seems to hit in the like a lot of my friends are from the local area as well. So they still drink here. So, yeah, I didn't. It's funny. Hey, I actually didn't really think about it. I guess intentionally, it was just like it just like came out and flowed like that. So it's probably turned into that kind of into a inner west venue aesthetic, vibe, style, everything about it, but without me being like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an inner west. I'm going to do a Newtown venue. Like I said earlier, I'm just going to build my venue how I want.
Yeah.
And if everyone likes it, they like it. And they seem to like it. So,
what was your go-to place to drink in venue before you open this place up?
Definitely Fortunate Son. So Fortunate Son for cocktails. The Duke for just being the Duke. Like I will always love the Duke. And then honestly, Uncanny. Great team, great cocktails, great food. Julian, who is one of the owners and is generally on premises most of the time, was actually a great help and a great sounding board when I was first starting to talk to about how to set things up and things like that. So they would be my three. Yeah. And then in terms of a pub, the Warren View, because it's so close. They do a great schnit, but that was like, yeah, because it's close as well. I love going to the Warren View again. With my fiancée and her daughter, was like really nice and chill and easy to go to. But fortunate has always been my like. I've just got such a like special place in my heart for fortunate, for just everything about it. You know, the team, the drinks, the vibe, the service, everything. Yeah.
Last drink, last meal, last song, end of your life.
So last drink. If we're going open, would be an old fashioned.
And where are you getting the old fashioned from?
I'll make it myself. I would make my own my last drink of my life. I would make myself. I'd make an old fashioned. As much as I love rye, I would make a bourbon old fashioned just because that's what I love. Last meal would be. That's my last meal would be made at home with Nika, my fiance, when we get high and make weird shit, like weird combination, you know, those like high combinations. Medicinal, of course. And it would be like, I don't even know, it would be some weird concocted meal. Who knows? It's like the amount of like random stuff that we've come up with. So if it was like, it would be that with her at home, at home, like that was kind of what it would be. I'm just trying to think. Generally, it'd be some mix of almost like a poke bowl, but like some weird poke bowl with like just other like, we like slap so much stuff into food. And then last song, I'm going to say, that's a tough one. Last song's a tough one. Probably straight off the top of my head would be Danzig, Am I Demon, would be my last song. And I would listen to it in here, drinking that old fashioned. That'd be good.